Alrighty, welcome back to One Piece Anime Review episode number 211. This one reviewing the newest episode of the anime, which is called Arrival Reinforcements, the Captain of the Whitebeard Pirates. Oh, Commander of the Whitebeard Pirates is what it's actually called. Yep. And the 1022nd chapter of the manga. Now, this episode adapts from chapter 981, pages 14 to 19, and chapter 92, pages 2 through 4 and 9 through 10. Yep, chapter starts off basically with, Luffy and Captain Kidd still fighting the Beast Pirates. And of course, also seeing that Kidd, that the killer, and Zoro get they have something in common. Captains who rather basically beat people up than actually talk to them. Yep, and it's like, we're not that much different. Yep. And then they get separated. Yep, they get separated, and then we see Zoro and Luffy basically just slice through walls. It's like, let's do this quietly. And slice through wall to beat up a bunch of Beast Pirates, which is so hilarious. So, and they have to beat those guys. Then Luffy and Zoro get separated, and Luffy, of course, ends up finding more of Beast Pirates. And Zoro just goes to search for Luffy. And that's it for them for this episode. We see briefly few of the top pirates, like Black Maria, where she's seeing hanging around with Kaido instead of looking for Yamato. And she's here with Orochi, and then all of a sudden we have Kanjuro show up, the traitor, the one who works for Orochi, and basically tells him, sees that he's back. Oh yeah, and of course that's Orochi's man, leave him alone. And of course says, I have a gift for you, and it's Momonosuke. Yep, a beaten up Momonosuke. Yep. Now, in the case of the two other members of the top pirates of this is Uti and Page One. Page One is carrying his beautiful sister around because she doesn't like to run. She's that lazy. And I'm like, Page One, your sister is a beautiful woman. I'm surprised no guy is falling for her. And she keeps calling him Pei, even though his name is Page One. Now, in case you're wondering, though, why he's called Page One, I have honestly no idea why he's called Page One. That's his name, Page One. And this is him in his human form because, here's the thing. Previously, we only see him in his dinosaur form, which I believe is a Velociraptor, if I'm not mistaken. I think he's a Velociraptor or a T-Rex because Queen is a Brontosaurus. Yep. But what are the case of the other pirates up to? Well, we do see, Sanji, where he basically, after he come out from last week's episode, and he couldn't find anyone, but he ends up going in search for women anyways. And meanwhile, we see a little extended sequence of Kinemon and his group, and of course you have Chopper and Usopp behind him. They're just running, of course, keeping on the window just in case someone's there. And then they notice someone open the window. And of course, everybody jumps to the water except for Usopp and Chopper. And then Chopper looks who it is. Someone's picking outside. And it's Big Mom. Yep. And she doesn't say much. She says make some noise. And that's the last see of that. Meanwhile, though, let's see. Robin and Jinbei are technically not in the episode. They're in the recap, but they're not in the episode itself. They were last seen just walking. In the case of Frankie and Brooke, they were just riding on Frankie's motorcycle, Black Rhino. Mm-hmm. Yep. And in the case of basically was there anything else that happened in this episode? Let's see. Oh, yes. We have Big Mom Pirates, basically her kids, go up the waterfall. Like we see Felipe. I haven't seen her since the whole cake arc. She's seen very briefly in this episode. I don't think, if I remember reading the chapter, she was definitely not in it. Yet she's here in the episode. And I'm wondering, though, where's her older brother, the one who is the second son? Yeah, I wonder that myself. So, Yeah, so I'm getting a lot of notifications from some comic cards that I've been tweeting last few minutes. So, and basically they're coming up the waterfall, the same one that the Straw Hats came up, and then they're stopped before they reach the top by, I think it's King Kong. Like, who is that up there? Oh crap! It's Marco from the Whitebeard Pirates. Yes. They've heard him as the first division commander, even though technically I don't know if it's a title anymore. Like, his interest is actually really good. And then he pushes down the white big arm. It's like, what? That again? And of course, to get back up there anyways is so hilarious. Yep. And then he notices, like, oh, what's his ship? Why, it's Cat Vapor. Him along with one of the other members of the Whitebeard Pirates, who just happens to be one of Odin's retainers. Who also happens to be the older brother of... it's Kaku's older brother. Yes, the one who wears lipstick like she does. Yep. I'm trying to think, was anything else in this episode? Trying to think here. I think that's pretty much it. It's a damn good episode, and I can't wait for next week's episode. Yep. Which next week's going to be called Oath of a Man. Fierce Battle of Bronchio Tank, which should be interesting. And here's the thing. They mentioned this, I think it was a couple weeks ago, that according to the title of episode 990, Yamato's finally going to make an appearance in this series. I mean, a physical appearance, not just a brief, like you actually get to see her, even though that they refer to her as a boy, even though it's a girl. Yep. Really great episode. Now for the news chapter of the manga. The Stars That Take Stage. Yep, we have the reader's request. A frog playing hide and seek with the Totoras with a bunch of hoverflies. Yeah. We see Leo looking for frogs with a few members of the Tower Corps. Yep. That is literally what happened here. Yeah, first time in a while that Leo's been seen in this series. I think like the last thing we've seen was the Reverie arc. And we start off with, well, continuing the battle from last chapter, where Black Maria is taken out along with Who's Who, and I don't know, like most of them are taken out except for Uti in page 1, and we see that Oso has made it to Wano. Like he's getting according to the map, they're getting very close to the flower cap. Luffy's like beat up, ready to go. And of course, meanwhile down the island, we see Renzo, where he faced off against the leader of the Abiwaman, where he's fighting him. And his powers, Nimpo, earlobe crackers. I'm like, yeah, his earlobes move. Like, what the heck? Yep, and then we have the Shadow Clone Jutsu. Which one? Oh, that's the real you. You mean Lord? And of course, he gets his like, doesn't matter who it is. And it still says they're going to fight him. And we see briefly images of a few other people who are part of the... Which looks like Kinemon on the ground with cat vapor. Don't see Kaku. No, I'm hoping Kaku's not there. She's a great character. And then we see Killer face off against Basil Hawkins. Yep, Killer's fighting Basil Hawkins. And then we're on the second... And this is basically on the third floor. On the second floor, we have Law and Captain Kidd facing Big Mom. And this lasts for these few pages here. And then we see King and Queen face up against Marco and his group. And of course, Zoro is still basically benched like a cross mummy. And of course, Queen is having the crap kicked out of him by frickin' Sanji. Yes, Sanji finally get a chance to fight Queen for the first time. And then we have Pespro, where he's basically firing a hockey arrow at Sanji. He's like, now die, German's big filler. And then Cat Faber shows up and says, step outside. This is for Pedro. And of course, Pestro's like, oh, yeah, he gets a crappy out of Pestro. Yep. Yep. This is so funny. It's like, no, protect Sandro. He's wounded. And of course, you have him get kicked up. And then, of course, like Marco basically just taking out the stuff. Take out stuff from King's Flames. And then we see it looks like Carrot, who's holding Chopper. And then, of course, like, time for the Star to take center stage. Look at that, he's back. 3 style. Purgatory on. Demolition. And we see Sanji and Zoro basically beat up both King and Queen at the same time. And you have Zoro set with Zoro's like, hey Charlie, let's conquer this vow. We're going to catch a glimpse of Luffy as King of the Pirates. Wow, what an excellent chapter. 10 out of 10. Really good. Can't wait for the very next chapter. So yeah, that's it for Sick Review. Stay tuned for Boruto, which is next. Yep. After that, then I'll head back to the One Piece read up, okay? The One Piece stuff, okay? Next video. Bye.